All right, take 3. Yeah, this is my third take on this. I'm in a good mood today. A female I grew up with, that was a friend of mine, got in touch with me. My friend requested them last week, and my friend list is private. Which, you know what? That was a stupid move. I should have had that thing private from the get-go. I don't know why I had that thing public. Because that's what caused that problem. Because I lost a friend last weekend. Because you were able to see who I was friends with and who was talking to me. You know, now it's at that point where unless you're mutual, people can't see who you're friends with. And that's a good thing. You know, because otherwise sometimes people want to start sabotaging you. I don't think I have to worry about that for a certain person anymore. I think that we've kind of come to this understanding mutually through a third party that it's not going to happen no more. But that doesn't mean that people that know that individual, friends of that individual, aren't going to try it still. You know, so. But yeah, I'm happy because I just spoke to this person. I haven't spoken to them since like 2008. Maybe even earlier than that. Yeah, I think it was probably 08 or 07 or 08. Real nice person. Really nice person. And they're still living around here. They're married. They've got a kid. Well, I don't know the husband, but she's got a kid with the guy. They live around here. They have I'm not even going to go into any further than that, because if I do, somebody's going to figure it out and they're going to get in touch with him and they're going to say, don't talk to him, he's whatever baloney that people say, okay? The nonsense that whatever. So I'm not even going to go there. I'm just happy that we're good. So it tells me that it wasn't me. It was outside influences for the most part that were causing a lot of my problems for a little bit there. Oh, right. So why am I making this video? Okay, the video is about this deck. It was actually just covered on, somebody just asked on Facebook the other day, and I had the same issue just happen to me. They said my deck's staying on. It's not shutting off even when I go to shut it off. Okay, usually that's because somebody put the wrong belt on. It's still long enough to fit, but it's not long enough to where when you disengage the thing, it's not long enough to get enough slack to shut the blades off. That's usually what it is. So I told him, if you just bought the machine, make sure you got the right size belt on. If you don't, you have to get the correct length belt. That's your problem. But that's not always the problem. The other problem could be where this has a cable and it attaches to that pulley right there. That pulley moves back and forth to give it the tension it needs to go. That can get stuck. So I said also make sure your pulley with the swing arm, which is that, is not stuck. And then that one right there is also adjustable. You see that bolt nut right there? That allows you to adjust where that pulley sits. Well, that thing was loose on this deck when I got this machine. I tightened it, but when I tightened it in the wrong position. So when I was turning this machine on before, this deck was staying on. I mean, it was just on. It was going on by itself. It was because of that. I had to loosen that, move it over that way more. It gave it even less tension, and then it stopped having a problem. And that was it. We're okay. And now it's okay. So that's what can happen that can cause the thing to stay on. All right, now as far as these things right here, these little metal things, when you engage it, those move those away. Those are brakes. That was a Misson's brake shoe. It wore off already. Don't fret if it did. They're not necessary. On my machine, they don't even have them. They were added later. All that does is it adds a couple extra seconds to how fast it shuts down the blades. All right. You can buy the shoe. You can order the shoes and put new ones on if you want, because they do wear out over time. But what I'm saying is it isn't necessary. But when they do wear out like this, you're gonna hear a squeak noise for about 3 seconds, because now it's just metal on metal. It's not an actual brake shoe on there. And then the brake itself, mine, it had too much tension on the squeeze, which is that spring, so I had to loosen that. But the actual adjustment to tighten the shoes is that center bolt. I had to add a little bit more to that, because when I had it in 6th gear, when I went down the driveway, it wasn't shutting, or it wasn't stopping. Wasn't stopping. So that's what that was. And that's it. That was it. I just wanted to show that real quick, because the thing wasn't, you know, I was gonna make a quick video of it, for sale video of the thing, and the deck wasn't shutting off. And I'm saying, man, I've already been on this machine too long as it is, and now I gotta deal with another thing. Luckily, it was simple enough, and I was able to do it without even having to remove the deck. Because I was getting ready to have to take this deck off and then inspect everything, and it's okay. I do think that one of the bearings on this mandrel could be going bad, because it looks like that mandrel is kind of like that a little bit. But it's not horrible yet, so I'm not going to mess with it. But I did hear it make a noise, like just for a second or two. Before, so you know, I don't know. It's still good, and this is a good deck. It's a good solid deck. It's the better one. You know, it's the 12 gauge. It's not the 14 gauge, the standard 14 gauge. On these Craftsmans, something to note about them. What happens is they tend to rot out right here. On the 42s. When they do rot out, they rot out right in this area, right here, and up above. So, and one of the reasons why is there's a metal flap right here. Okay, so grass accumulates here, and you know it stays wet, and it collects moisture, and it holds on to that moisture, and it rots the metal out. So you always want to make sure when you clean these decks out, when you open this, see it? See that lip right there? That's right where it always accumulates and then rots. That's a big spot. So bear that in mind, and you know, be ready to clean that out, or you're gonna have a rotten deck. Even this 12 gauge one, over time, it's gonna rot it out. On the 38s, it's similar basically area. Those ones rot out even faster. Those ones, another place they rot out is up in the center too. A lot of times I'll notice rot. So you gotta be really careful. You gotta keep your eye on those 38s. They rot out really fast. Do I have a 46 here? This one's just a 42 as well, isn't it? Yeah. This is the same thing, even though they went to one arm. It's still got that metal lip. This is when they changed to have that hook. So you'll see on a lot of the baggers, it'll say B and it'll have a slot. That's where that goes. On the older ones, it doesn't. So what happens is, you buy a bagger, or a lot of times you'll get a bagger, right? And this bottom piece, it has this. And a lot of the older ones, it didn't have that. You know what I mean? This was just either not here, or it was flush. So sometimes these tend not to fit exactly right, because this is different than that one. So that's something to keep in mind. You can trim it. You know, you can trim a little more so it goes on even better. I'm not messing with it. It stays on good enough. But just keep that in mind. Like, both of these are the newer ones. This one's got problems, but so, because I don't have one right now to show it, but on the older ones, do I have a mulch plug? Yeah. They're mulch plugs, but you know what though? They're all missing their straps. You know why? Except for one. One still got it at the moment. You know why, right? I needed them for the baggers. I'm glad to know I have them now, because that one bagger needs a couple. What's this? Are they all 42s? I think I think that's a 46. These are 42s. This is weird. Let me go look real quick. I got a ton of mulch plugs. You know what? I might as well add mention the thing as a mulch plug too. Add a little more value to the thing, or at least make sure I get what I'm asking for. Yeah, now it makes it a 3-in-1. You're on bag mulch and side discharge. Lawn tractors will usually primarily side discharge with them, or commonly you'll see the bagger, but you rarely ever see these mulch plugs in use. Some people want to mulch. That's how they like to use them. Mulch cutting is the best way. I'll check and see which one it is. So, but that's all. I just wanted to cover that real quick. I got this down to 11 minutes. The first one was 50 minutes long because I kept going on about stuff. The second one was like 25 minutes long, and we got it down to 11 and something. So that's good. I still got a lot to do. So I just wanted to cover that. That's what happens. So if your deck isn't shutting off, that's why. Okay, guys. Later.